As a manager, this is the hard truth and the hard reality is that your job isn't to second guess company policy decision or to make your opinion known about decisions that have already been made.
All right, I'm really not sure how to do this, but there's this guy named Jason Lauritsen, and he seems like a genuine guy, seems like a good guy. He gives advice to management. That's this whole channel here. And I watched some of his videos, and some of the advice he gives just seems really kind of out of touch, so to speak. Because again, I watched a bunch of his videos, and he seems genuine. He seems nice, but some of the advice he gives, I just can't bring myself to agree. But then again, I'm not a keynote speaker. I'm not an author. I'm not an advisor. I'm just a YouTuber that disagrees with some of your advice. Let me show you what I mean.
So what do you do if you're the manager of a team and you work for an organization that's requiring all employees to come back to the office and you have people on your team who don't want to come back?
So that's the main premise of this video. He talks a little bit more and then answers the question here.
Well, basically you have two options. Right? Two very clear, simple options. Number one is you can go find another job. You can leave. You don't want to go back into the office, then you need to leave. Option two is you make it work. As a manager, this is the hard truth and the hard reality is that your job isn't to second guess company policy decision.
It's not your job to ask questions about company policy. That job doesn't exist. You just have to do it. Definitely as a manager, please ask questions if they don't make sense.
Or to make your opinion known about decisions that have already been made.
Why would you not do that? Why would you just put your tail between your legs and go on with your day? Like, those are not the only two options, Jason. What about the third option of, well, let's talk about it?
Your job is to execute on decisions that have been made. When there's corporate policy decisions that have been made, if you're a manager, then your job is to make it work.
This is how awful things happen in the world when you don't question policies. Well, this is terrible advice. You see what I mean? But he seems genuine.
I didn't like it. I remember getting called out early in my career for my boss, who was an executive, had made a decision. I didn't agree with her decision. This was early in my management career. I didn't agree with her decision. I had shot off my mouth about it.
Good, as you should. Don't apologize. Why are you simping right now?
Expressing my disagreement for her decision in an open forum meeting with other people from other departments. Of course, word got back to her, and she called me in to have one of the most uncomfortable conversations I have ever been a part of in my career, but I needed to hear it.
To assert her dominance and be like, look, you do what you're told or find a new job. And you're going to take this as a lesson? Don't just put your tail between your legs and be like, it was something I needed to learn. Never question authority, because that's what you're doing right now.
And some of the advice that I got in that meeting and some of the advice I'm giving to you right now is that your job isn't to run around second guessing decisions. Your job is to make it work. And so
that's terrible advice. You can't take that and go honestly give that to other people. Just keep your mouth shut and do what you're told. This is the shit that enrages me. People that refuse to be, it's just the way it is. It's just in the company handbook. That's just what we gotta do.
So you have two decisions. I'll recap. If you don't want to go back to the office, you can leave or you can make it work.
Or you could talk about it. You could be like, this doesn't make sense. Let's make it make sense. Let's have a conversation. Let's adapt. Let's change. Those are not the only two options, Jason.
There is no third option. So don't get trapped by the third option. The third option could be career ending for you. So let's assume you want to make it work. I'm just going to assume that you do want to make it work. So you're going to commit to making it work. So now what do we do about our people that don't want? So a few things. Number one is the first thing to do is hear them out.
But you already know what you're going to say. So why are you letting them just waste their breath?
Help them feel heard, and that will help in the process of building trust and hopefully help them feel better about the transition if they do come back. So number one is hear them out. Number two is to help them understand, just like I just did with you, that they have a decision to make. They either can move on or they can come back to the office and make it work. What you want to advise them against is the third option, which is come back to the office reluctantly and then kind of half-heartedly do your work as a way to punish the organization.
That's what I would do. 100% that's what I would do until I found a new job.
Reality is the only person that gets punished in that situation is the employee, and you as their manager.
You think they care? You're making them come back in, and they probably don't have any other job offers, so they can't just quit and get a new job. So they have to come in. So they're going to do it begrudgingly, and they're going to sit there and do nothing all day and make you pay them for that since your decision doesn't make any sense and you're offering no leeway. No options for discussion. Just, I'm just a manager. I don't question the company handbook. This is trash. This is so bad. You're a keynote speaker, which means companies bring you in to give them advice. And this is the advice that you're giving them. Please change your advice.
And so you want to help them, you want to help coach them through this, because I know you don't want to tell any of your people to leave, and you certainly don't want to encourage them to leave. But it would be better for them to leave than to come back to the office and perform at half, become a disengaged employee that's only performing at sort of half of expectations.
You've left them no options, my dude. You've left them no options. They have to come in or they have to quit and get a new job. Again, chances are they don't have another new job just chilling there, and they probably don't have savings like most Americans to be able to quit their job and search for one. If they quit one, they can't get unemployment, right? So that's what anyone is going to do.
That becomes a nightmare for you, and then you end up having to probably fire them anyways, and they have to go get another job.
Maybe you should have grown a pair and questioned your superiors for once.
Save everybody some time and go find another job if that's what you're going to do. So that's number two. Number three is, in the conversation about helping them understand that they need to make this decision, is commit to them. Commit that you will help them make this work in whatever way you can. And then finally,
Why would you not cut that out?
The office a place they want to come. Working in the office sucked. Right? And they haven't forgotten that. They don't want to go back to that experience. One of the things you can do is ask your people, what was it about working at home that helped you feel like you could do better work?
The fact that I don't have to commute, the fact that I don't have to find childcare, the fact that I can get up and take a break whenever I want without Sally in HR looking over my shoulder to see that I'm taking a break that she's going to report me on. But you'll never be able to make the office the same as home. And you shouldn't. Here's another CEO that's out of touch that wants to bring people back to the office, and that's his argument.
As they come back to the office, they're not going to accept giving that up. And I think employers aren't going to accept the idea that people have to go home to be able to focus. They have to go home to be able to be as productive as they can be. They should have that capability right in their offices. So I think
What in the gaslighting world? For the people that want to work at home, there's nothing you can do at your office to make it the best place to work.
so. That means more places for focus, more places for privacy.
We wanted them to be energized, to reconnect with each other and reconnect with the company.
Reconnect with the company like it's a long lost loved one. Like, oh my God. Why do these companies feel the need to make a video about how they're bringing people back? You know I'm gonna find it. I mean, thanks for the content, I guess. This is Steelcase, by the way, our return to office.
Figure out a way to make that work for them at the office so that the office can give them more of what they need.
That's not what they want. Stop trying to replace their home at work.
And invest in making a better environment, a better culture for them as well.
Nobody gives a shit about your culture. That's why they work at home.
So it becomes a place that they want to come to.
It's never going to be. It's just a place that they have to come because you're saying they have to, or else they lose their livelihood.
And this is one of the things that makes being a manager really hard sometimes, is that you're not always going to agree with the policies and decisions that are made above your head, but the job of management is to execute it. And so part of maturity as a manager is figuring out how to do that. And you can...
Part of maturity as a manager, listen, I'm not as old as you, but it's learning when the people above you make mistakes and calling those people out. You have to trust the people at the top to make the best decisions, and when they don't, you should be able to ask them questions about that.
Be committed to your people, care for your people. Your opinion about that decision isn't helpful. What's helpful...
Yes, it is! Why are you saying never question people at the top? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I hope this is helpful to you.
It's not. If you enjoyed that video, click the like button, double smash thumbs down if you didn't enjoy it, subscribe if you'd like to see more of me tearing apart the corporate world, since I know you can't or you'll get fired. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and if you'd like to support the channel, there are some links in the description. Otherwise, have a good weekend.